Work with me. Oh, there you go.
Only happy little fly, but more than half. I'm gonna call this Germ Hopper. Then I'll do dots. Welcome back. It's 22 Veteran. We're here. We're gonna tie my first fly that we're gonna show. It's called the Germ Hopper. It's really good imitation. It's kind of like a dragonfly, kind of not, because I got my own little fuzzy tail back here. It's made with dare here. What I like about this fly is it's super simple, it's easy to tie, and it's fairly cheap. It doesn't take a lot of effort, and we can make it. So I came up with this fly after seeing a bunch of dragonflies flying around the pond that I like. And I have tried so many different dragonfly imitations, and they don't seem to work. But this one, no matter where I'm at, they kill this thing. For some reason, they love it, and it works. So, nickname is Germ, so I'm going to call this Germ Hopper, because, you know, it's a top water hopper. So, let's get to this. With no further ado, let's get to my super friendly, happy little fly, and we're going to tie it. So, 22, out. Let's get this done. Continue mission. We're going. So we're going to be using the Egan Claw hook, size 6. And the thread size I'll be using is black 140. So we're going to start by get your needle, not your needle, your hook set up. Let's get some thread on there. Let's get it on there really quick. Go all the way back. Cut this extra because we do not need it. Nope. So we're going to take that right there, and then we're going to take some, it's going to be the peacock feather. So there we go. Take one of those. I'm going to tie that in really quick, really easy. Give it a couple wraps here. It's all we really have to do. Nothing too big or fancy. I said my flies are not fancy. The bass love them, and the sunfish, they like them as well. So what I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to park this over here, gets it out of the way, and then I'm just going to wrap this by hand really quick. Alrighty. So I'm just going to hang on to it right there, and then I'm just going to wind my thread back up to my hook here. And then I'm just going to secure that with a couple wraps. And then we're just going to work our way down really quick. Go right there. Cut this off because we don't need it. Boom. Just like so. Next we're going to get some dare here. Hair. I'm going to use this a little bit, about, good pinch. We're going to use about that much right there. So let's go ahead and cut that off. Remember, after you cut it, there's that undercoat that you need to get out. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out right here. And I use my little red cup. So let's get that out, which doesn't take long at all. It's really quick. I don't cut mine all the way down to the leather part of the skin, so I don't have a lot. And what we need is our stacker. So I'm going to go ahead and put these hairs down. Boom. Put that in there. And then I'll use my hand I have dogs, and when they hear it, they think someone's at the door. So I'll just do this with it. It makes it really easy to do. And just take that off like so. And then we got some really nice stacked hair. What we want, just like so. So what I'm going to do is take half the hook shank, or half the hook, and I'm going to put it halfway of it is what I'm going to use for my measurement. So I want about half, a little bit more than half, like about, kind of like half. And this goes for any hook. And then I'm just going to go ahead and secure it. Do some light wraps before I really cinch down on it. Because once you cinch down, it's going to flare out. Get back a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and get that pre-cinched out. Just like so. And I run my way up. Just a little bit. Get that nice and secure. That's what I want. Get that nice and tight. Then what I'm going to do is cut the front. So we don't need all this up front. So let's go ahead and cut all that. What I find I like to do is I'll take this and just put it in the back. Gets it out of the way, and it keeps me from cutting my line, cutting my thread. Sooner or later, you're going to cut thread as you do your flies. It's just something that's going to happen. If you haven't cut your thread yet, then you haven't been tying long enough. Or you've just been super lucky. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and get that all cut up. Give it a little haircut. We don't need all that there. Alright. So once we get that basically cut, I'm just going to go down on that a little bit. Come back up. Call that good. Hair is nice and secure. Now we're going to take our foam body. I cut them and I ship them myself. So yeah, they're not absolutely perfect, but they work. And the size of the foam is twice the size of the hook, is what you want. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your end section, it's going to be your body part, and I'm going to put that about halfway out where I want it to come out just where the hair is at. So it's going to be pretty even with that. And the hook, we're going to be like right where the end is, where you put the deer hair at. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that around. Get that place where I want. I like that there. And I'm going to go ahead and get that nice and cinched down. So that's really easy to do. Here we go. That way we're not moving. It's going to make a nice little curve. And then you want your hair to be out like right here. So it's perfect like that. Or close to it. Like I said, nothing I do is perfect. Which is nice. Makes it really easy to do. So what I'm going to do next is I make my own dubbin. And lately I've been liking like this pinkish color. Or it's more, it's just the color of it. It's kind of like a pink, kind of not. You can use the color you want. This is what I've been using. So I'm just going to grab a little bit off of there. And what the dubbin does is we're going to put legs on there. And so the dubbin will catch the legs. And it keeps the legs from moving on you. So I just need a little bit of dubbin. I don't use a lot. There we go. That will work. I can add more later if I need it. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit on there. So I'm just going to give it a good little twist. And there we go. It's enough to cover up my black thread. And then we're going to go ahead and get a little dubbin on there. There we go. So that comes off, I don't care. No big deal. I didn't have it down the bottom good enough. I'm just gonna take it out just a little bit. That'll work just fine. So I got my little crazy legs. So take these right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I tear them off. So let's go ahead and tear that off. And then next, I'm gonna go ahead and fold it over in half. And let's go ahead and cut that in half, just like so. Boom. And then what I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna cut that in half again. So we need small legs. I just found it easier to do it this way. So I'm gonna cut in half and cut it in half again. And there we go. We have 2 legs that we're gonna use. And if you've done legs, they're kind of a pain. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship with them I have. Sometimes they work the first time, sometimes they don't. I'm just gonna wrap them around the thread and then go ahead and put my thread on there. Like so. Get them all fixed up. And I'm just gonna give them a couple of securing, light, low turns. And then I want them up because I want them to be coming out. So it's a couple small ones and out. Here we go. Just like so. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Get that picked up. Same thing. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around my thread in the middle of it. And let's go ahead and put my thread around it. Just like so. And that'll work. Oops. Here we go. And get my thread on there. And then I'm just going to go around a couple times. And then I can go ahead and adjust my leg. And then I'm going to cinch it down. Like so. That one came up a little bit. Stubborn leg. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to take just a tiny bit of my dubbin and go back over that. So I want to have this a little bit. It's more like a fuchsia color, I guess you can call it. And we're just going to go over that. And then I'm going to come back in the front. Put my legs back. And just go over the front a little bit. So we have it like so. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and wrap this down in the front here. Get that nice and secure. Go around that. Just a few times. Our legs should be out. Adjust those up. Bring them up more. Like I said, there we go. Bring them up like so, and now they're out. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and use some more peacock feather. I'll wrap that to the front. I got 2, I only need 1. I'm going to use the big end. Go ahead and get that tied in. A little bit more. Right there is good for me. Go ahead and get that secure. And then we're going to go ahead and get that cut. And I'm going to park my thread behind. let's go ahead and do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wrap it forward and back. This gives it a little buggy look, is what I like about it. It works out fine. Like I said, this is a really good fly. It works on the sunfish and the bluegill here, the bass. So that's nice and secure. Go ahead and trim that off, just like so. My legs came down just a little bit. My pull those up at the very end. So after you do that, I'm going to go forward, and then we're going to take this and bring it back, just like so. Just almost on itself, and a little bit back. And now we're going to wrap right here. It's going to look just like that. So I do a couple loose ones, and then I'm going to go ahead and cinch that down. And there we go. There's your little body's looking good. I'm going to go over that just a few more times. And then go ahead and work this forward. Loop it. And let's go ahead and give your whip finish to it. So now it's kind of buggy in the front. And then let's do some whip finishes on there. I do a couple. And go ahead and do a couple more. I do it a few times. This is how I do them. On this one I got room. I'll just do one more. Couple more. That's just how I do my flies. You can do 1, 2, however many you want to do. I do it a few times. We're just going to straighten your body out a little bit. Just like so. So what I'll do next is I'll take my Sharpie, and in the back here I'll just draw my lines across for the body. But let's start in the back. Just like so. And we're just going to put our lines across. Right here. I like to use blue on this pattern. So now we'll go back, and then we'll do it back here again. Same thing. I'll put that down and just go across, across. So that's really easy. And then I'll do dots like right here on the sides. I'll go ahead and like match them up. Same thing on this side. There we go, something like that. And then what I'll do is I'll also draw in like right here as well. And right here on the back side. So I'm going for more of like a dragonfly look is what I'm going for. So let's go ahead and clip this thread. We don't need this anymore. Let me get my legs. Pull my legs up. Get my legs. Like I said, most of the time they work, sometimes they don't. On my legs, it's like I said, a love-hate relationship. I love them, but I hate them at the same time. And same thing on this side, they came down a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust this up. See, now they're right where I want them to spread out. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some eyes on there. You don't have to put eyes on there, but, you know, it's what I do with mine. Gives it a nice little finished look. Get my little tweezers here. Get this eye. Once I can get this eye, let me grab it. Here we go. And that's where the rotation comes in pretty handy. I don't use it much at all, but I do use it for the eyes. And I'm going to go ahead and lock that down a little bit, make it easier on myself. And go ahead and drop the eye on there. Using my thumb. Come on, little eye. Get it off there. There we go. Just like so. I'll work this out fine. And so that's one eye. And let's go ahead and put the other eye on. So these are just clear eyes with the black. This you call them silver eye background. Take this eye, and we're going to go ahead and slide that eye on. There we go. So that's one eye, two eyes. And then I'll usually kind of give me a little bit of squeeze. So now we have body. Get that, tweak the body over. There we go. We're looking good here. So that's what it's going to look like. On the bottom, you got a little color. It's kind of buggy on the bottom. And you can see up here, it's kind of like the mouth. Where, let me get something to point that up here. So it's pretty buggy right here. If you want to make it a little bit more buggy, I get my little tweezers. I'll just pull some of it. Just going to just do a little bit to it. And that's going to be enough for me. And then up right here, it kind of looks like the tongue area. Middle like dragonfly is what I'm going for. And then my hardener I actually use hard as nails. It works out great. I've been using it forever. It's all I've ever used for tying flies. And then I'll just put some on top. Cover the eyes. Just going to dab the eyes. And I'm actually going to use the rotator here. I'm just going to rotate it because that's where I want it to be at. I want to make sure I get the bottom. So here's the bottom part. Just going to get that. And I always cover the eye of the hook. And let's get the side here, the eye. We want that to stay on there. And it's going to smell like nail polish. But it does a really good job. It hardens it up. This one bottle lasts me a very long time. I can't remember when I bought it. It's been that long. And then I'm just going to dab some on there. And then same back here. And I'm going to put some on the body as well. Here we go. Just like so. That's the Germ Hopper. Alrighty. Fairly easy, nothing too difficult. As I said, just adjust your legs up a little bit. Or not if you don't need to. Mine I always do. It's just going to sit in the water just like that. Alright. And there we have it. 22 Vet here. Thank you for joining me on this Germ Hopper we have tied. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy tying it. Like I said, the bass have been destroying it, so I keep having to tie it. Alright, we're going to be tying more flies, testing more fly rods out, and testing the other equipment when it comes to fly fishing. So y'all take care. I'll see you in the next one. 22 Vet, continue mission.